Never again. That's tractor. The whole world calls Ukrainians strong, indestructible, resilient, heroic, and brave. But what is behind these beautiful words? What is it exactly that makes us like this? The blood of the Cossacks runs in us. I am Dmytro Komarov, and I have always been looking for places of power all over the world. Native Americans have always believed that all the clouds on planet Earth were born at Iguazu Falls. We're in Rio de Janeiro, with the iconic statue of Jesus Christ in front of me. The Buddha chose this place not for nothing to appear in the future. From Everest to Fujiyama. Hooray! Fujiyama! From New Guinea to the Amazon jungle. But the real place of power was literally in front of my eyes for all this time. It's Ukraine. It may seem that we are a country that is 28 times smaller than Russia in terms of area. How do we keep holding on for years, and not just holding on, but continuing to live our lives? There are no situations here that the Hustle Boys can solve. Adventures goes on. This season, I will be exploring the sources of Ukrainian strength by going on a big expedition across the country. From the east to the west. From the north, they are attacking, GBUs are in flight, and we're off, run to the cars. To the south, Bulgarian. So what makes us Ukrainians so strong? Let's find out together. The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine. In the 21st century, humanity is moving forward with relentless pace. We have long ago climbed the highest point in the world, Everest. We've flown to the moon. We have created a worldwide net which connects people across the world. We've learned how to clone animals. It seems that nowadays, everything we can discover has been discovered, and measured everything that can be measured. But do you know who in Ukraine lives above everyone else all year round? A quick search on the web immediately gives several options. And today the highest settlement, or rather the house that is located closest to the heavens, is not officially registered. But we at the World Inside Out are planning to fix that. We are going on an expedition in which we will search for the highest dwelling in Ukraine. And most importantly, we will find out where the real Ukrainian highlanders draw their strength from, people who now live closest to God. The highest point of Ukraine is Mount Hovela, 2,061 meters above sea level. But there are no dwellings with people living there, it is just a peak. The second highest mountain is Brebeneskel, 2,035 meters, but no one lives here either. The third peak is called PP1, 2,028 meters. On top of it is the White Elephant Observatory, but now there are only rescuers there, and they work in shifts. The most important criteria in our search for the highest dwelling is the permanent living of local people and running a farm all year round. We will not search randomly or by Google Maps. We will use an altimeter. This is a special device that measures the altitude above sea level. How do we work? We arrive, measure the elevation of the dwelling above sea level, then we go to next place. At the end of our expedition, we will see the results and define which housing in Ukraine is the highest one. It would seem to be very simple, and it is unclear why it has not been done so far. Let's fix this. Let's start with Zembronia. This village is the first one that appears when searching the internet. Besides, a few years ago I have already been here and accidentally met a family who lives in a hut in one of the highest places of the village. At that time, I had no instruments for height measurement. But now, when we decided to find the highest dwelling in Ukraine, I remembered that day. Let's go to someone I know personally. But the challenges appeared halfway through. This road, never again. That's tractor. No chance without a winch. Notice this is an ordinary country road. It's not off-road, it's a road. Look at this. Here's the road. This is how they drive here. I have been in some of the highest mountain settlements in the world, and the road to get there is never easy. For example, the Nepalese town of Lokla, which is called the Gateway to Everest, is located at an altitude of 2,860 meters. It can be reached only through a dangerous airport, which has a short airstrip of 520 meters long, which ends with a cliff on one side and a precipice on the other. The village of Namche Bazar lays even higher, at an altitude of 3,440 meters. This is a key point on the way to Everest, which can only be reached after a long hike up steep slopes. In this town, friends, the residents must be in very good health, because you have to go either steeply up or steeply down. There's no other way. And the main difficulty on the way to Ukrainian mountain settlements are bad roads, or rather their complete absence. So it seems that strong people should definitely live here, because just climbing up the mountain every day here is a challenge. It's a good thing we're experienced and have done a little preparation. Yes, luckily we have a winch, and our guide friend is here with us. Hello? His buggy is a bit ahead. Now just hook around the tree. Look, I think that'll do. Let's get there. Got it? Let's try. Stop, stop, stop! Stop! The bushes we clung to were too weak to hold the weight of the car, so we're looking for a sturdy tree. Give remote to Andrei. I'm on the road. We got it. Okay, we're on the road. I can relax a bit. And switch to normal driving mode. Not frantic. What a view! There's the whole Chornohora Ridge, incredible view. 3 or 4 years ago in the spring, I came to take photos of the mountains, and that's how I ended up here. I was walking somewhere over there, and I saw a valley and a single woman. I went down, met her, and it turned out that there was only one house with people living in it. And now 4 years have passed, and we came here with the desire to measure the height. Because this is probably one of the highest houses in Ukraine where people live all year round. Very well-maintained house. Pretty nice. Ukrainian flag. Today, by the way, is Flag Day. We're shooting this on August 23rd of the 24th year. Miss Vasilina, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What a beautiful guest.
May I give you a hug?
Of course. Greetings.
Greetings.
Welcome to Evergreen Carpathians.
Let me tell you why we are here. We are measuring altitude and looking for the highest dwelling in Ukraine where people live all year round. We have asked many people, studied maps, looked at information on the internet, and this research led us to you. You are one of the candidates for the highest dwelling.
Thank you for coming to see us.
Let's see the altitude, 1040 meters. And now you're the only person who lives here in the whole valley, right? No neighbors?
Our neighbors all live below us.
Is there any good road to your place? We went from the Zembronia main road. It was horrible. We barely made it.
That's my main road.
Awful. So it was not for nothing that I stocked up on a basic set of products for highlanders, because going to a store here is a real adventure. Sugar, flour. Imagine what it's like to live here, how to get your food. While we were unloading the groceries, the hostess had already set the table. God, what a phenomenal view! Unbelievable!
Very beautiful.
A view of Haverla.
Passes, peaks.
I just can't imagine a cooler view. I watch it and I feel the power and strength. I can feel it gives me energy. For how many years do you live here?
It's 44 now.
How many families lived here on the valley then?
There were many then, 18 houses.
And only one left today, yours.
Only one.
Imagine, this woman lives alone, not a single living soul within a radius of several kilometers. And if, for example, Miss Vasilina needs salt, it takes at least 20 minutes to walk to the nearest neighbor, and the same time back. The last neighbors who were leaving, did they explain why?
Closer to work. Everyone had a job in the district. It was a long commute.
Living in the mountains is tough. People who have lived at high altitudes for a long time knows that there is another dark side of life up in the mountains, which is usually not discussed.
I had 5 daughters. But tragically, back in 2008, the storm struck. It rained very hard. At 6 o'clock we left the hut to get the cows. The children wanted to come with us. I said, go to the stall. This is the stall where the cows were driving. There was a younger boy, my husband's grandson. They were sitting on the doorstep.
While the children were waiting for their elders to return, the woman and her other daughter went to the slope to look for a cow. At the same moment, lightning struck the cell phone tower located on the mountain.
They weren't near the tower, but it hit right in that hayloft. When we got there, the kids were already dead. I saw the boy had been burned to nothing. The boy had a metal plate for his teeth, and the daughter had a spot on her right side, and probably a ruptured heart, because the heart was bigger. It was very scary. It's been 16 years this year.
What was the name of your daughter?
The one killed by lightning was named Olga.
What was the boy's name?
Mikhailo.
How old?
The boy was 10 years old.
Unfortunately, the story that Ms. Vasilina told us is not uncommon in the mountains. Lightning is an extremely powerful force that kills more than 6,000 people in the world every year. This discharge of tens of thousands of kiloamperes is looking for somewhere to ground itself. Most often, it chooses mountain tops and high engineering structures as its target. For example, we have all seen footage of lightning striking the Eiffel Tower. But while cities almost everywhere have lightning rods, mountains do not. This increases the danger. I can give advice to all tourists. If, God forbid, you are on a hike and see a thunderstorm or lightning, you need to go down somewhere, lie down.
Yeah, to come down.
Don't be at the highest point, be lower. Because lightning seeks out where it strikes. You've been through such terrible grief. What saves you? Where do you get the energy to live?
I get energy. I pray. First and foremost, I pray. It makes me feel better.
They say that mountains have a special energy and mountains give you strength. Do they?
Yeah, they are empowering, inspiring. I love mountains.
Today, Miss Vasilina lives alone. She did not let me and my cameraman go to the hotel that night and offered to spend the night at her place. So we have a chance to see a traditional Hutsal house.
And here I'm baking bread. A lot. I bake 8 loaves.
At once.
At once. It's a croissant. The time you were pictured in this croissant.
Yes, yes.
You should remember.
Of course I do. The last time I was here for non-work reasons. Miss Vasilina met me with her husband, Ivan Yuryevich. He passed away 6 months ago. I remember your husband sitting in that chair. We were talking and he was telling me about this map. It's a scheme of a future mega resort that was going to be world famous. Prospects of this region's development were discussed back in the early 2000s. However, things did not go any further than talk. Plans for a resort with 20 ski slopes remained only on this map. Look at these ski lifts. Here, for example, number 6, 5,500 meters long. Ski lift number 8, 3,800 meters long.
Pity that it did not come true. Because tourism would have developed. It would have been like in Bukovel. It was said that it could be even better.
The potential of the nature here, I can tell you as a skier, is fantastic. You could create a resort that would attract the whole world.
It would be like in Switzerland.
God willing. Ms. Vasilina gave me a very heartfelt and warm welcome. It is a pity that the plans for the region and the memories of her life with her husband remain only in maps and projects, which unfortunately are still just a dream. I found photos taken in April of the 21st year. It was still snowing. This is the house right here. Look, it's your house. Your husband is standing there. Snow cap on Hovela. Here we are, taking pictures with you. Here.
Such a pleasure.
I've told this story to a lot of people about your house and your life. That's your husband standing right there.
Ivan, like he's alive.
A good memory. At such moments, I'd like to remind again how important it is to open your heart to new people, to find the time and energy to talk, to take a picture together as a keepsake. Because at the end of the day, the only thing we have left are our memories. There will be new photos, new meetings.
Thank you very much, very sincerely.
Thank you. We finish our tea and go to sleep. After such a busy evening, it was time to go to sleep. As a guest, I've been offered the best place. I will sleep on a warm stove and regain my strength, especially since tomorrow we will have new adventures. "6 a.m. sharp. 6 sharp. Before we left, Ms. Vasilina offered to show us something that in this expedition interested us as much as the altitude. The source of our people's strength. 15 minutes by car into the mountains, and an amazingly beautiful view appears. Look at the sunrise. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, yes. The sun when it rises in the morning gives me strength. I feel so relieved. If I pray in the morning, I feel good all day long.
Despite being disturbed by the cameras this morning, Ms. Vasilina did not give up her daily ritual. Prayer allows her to feel inner support, calm and hope. Despite severe losses and difficult times, she has remained a kind and incredibly empathetic woman. Even when all her friends and neighbors came down from the mountains, she chose to stay close to heaven. Let's take a look at your house. It's a good view from here. These houses around, they're all empty, right?
Yeah, empty.
I mean, look at the vastness. And one single person lives on this whole vast valley. Yesterday you showed me a scheme for the construction of a new ski resort. And here you look around and realize that it will be something really fantastic. Because there are a huge number of places where you can potentially make slopes, ski elevators. There's going to be controversy too. Some people will say that nature is being destroyed, you can't build. And what will the locals say?
Locals are in favor of construction. It is both tourism development and jobs.
It just needs to be done wisely.
Wisely.
Make it modern, but preserve nature, as is happening all over Europe in the Alps.
Yes.
This is the way it should be, and I'm sure it will be. After the war, this region will definitely develop, and we, and especially our children and grandchildren, will definitely see places here that even the Swiss will visit. This is what I think.
Yes.
It's time to Miss Vasilina to get back to work and for us to move on. Which point of our expedition should we choose next? To find the answer, I decided to talk to the locals. To do this, I went to the capital of the Hutsol region, Verkhovina, the very name of which already speaks of the altitude. We came to the market because it's always the best place to ask people what's what. We are looking for the high settlements where people live all year round. In your opinion, in this region, what is the highest place?
I don't know. Zembronia.
Zembronia, do you think so?
No, not Zembronia.
What is it?
Gadina.
Problinivka is a village in the mountains there. Problinivka, 50 kilometers from Verkhovina. There were many people willing to help us, as well as opinions about where exactly the highest hut in Ukraine could be located. Perekresne. What is the height? What's the approximate height?
Well, I can't tell. I don't know. We didn't measure because we're small.
Vipche village.
We're walking, not measuring.
All right, thank you. Well, friends, we've already got the information and the hints. This is the route we're going to take now. I've got the information on my phone. We're gonna get there. We're gonna measure the elevation, then next village. At the end, we will find people who live higher than anyone else in Ukraine. Here, friends, is the incredible morning view, and we are heading towards the village of Vipche. Perhaps there is the highest dwelling in Ukraine. Vipche is located only 7 kilometers away from Verkhovina. The road to it, like to many other Carpathian villages, is far from an asphalt highway. Imagine, we've been in a jeep for half an hour. People live here all year round. You have to go grocery shopping, go to work. It's always an adventure. Why are you stuck? You have to let me pass. Well, I'm not as experienced as you. Oh well, drive through then. Come on. Come on! Praise be Jesus Christ!
Forever and ever.
Can you please tell me, is Vipche that way?
Yes.
We're looking for the highest place where people live all year long.
Is there? There is Dachuk Mykolai.
Dachuk Mykolai?
Yes.
How's life here?
It's fine, as long as here is no war.
It's the most important thing. This place is heaven. God willing, it will always be like this.
God willing.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
You see, everyone we meet has one big dream, that there would be no war. I remember well how grandparents always said at the table, "Let there be no war." Back then, we didn't understand what that phrase really meant. Now, unfortunately, we understand it very well. We're going higher. Now there is only one man and his family left in this part of the village. They are not afraid of difficulties. Here we come to the place that is probably the highest. Good afternoon. Greetings. Praise be Jesus Christ. Forever and ever, Mykolai. Mykolai and last name? Dyachuk. Everyone's been telling us about you. By the way, it's already getting noticeably colder at this altitude. Right now we're standing at about what altitude? Take a guess. 1,200, maybe something like this? 1,225 meters. There used to be 28 houses here. And neighbors up there. Not anymore. They would have ruined your record if they lived up higher than you. And we'd be filming them. The living conditions are a little rough, because if you get sick, you are in trouble. If there is a shortage of some foodstuff, it's a disaster. In winter, I mean. Highlanders start gathering supplies for winter from summer to minimize the need to go down to civilization in the cold season. We too make a small contribution to Mr. Mykolai's preparations for winter. Using the fact that we were passing by, melon, sugar, thank you very much. And now let's take a look at what potentially the highest altitude home in Ukraine looks like. That's the old house from the year 1906, and this one I'm currently building. 1906? Yes. Like anywhere in the Carpathians, first thing first, guests are invited to the table. Come in, dear guests. This house is unique. I want to look at every detail, the paintings, the lizhnik, the stove. Bit like this, your head needs to be tilted. Why are the doors low? Because once one had to worship the owner. Oh, that's why. Wherever you come, there will always be brinza, banish and salo or meat on the table, the main sources of energy for hutsels. Mineral water. It's moonshine infused with lemons. Help yourself, I'm driving, I can't. Let's drink to your health and to the high standards of your life, here up high. Thank you. I don't even know where to start. Everything looks delicious. I'm gonna make myself a hutsel sandwich. Brinza, bacon, onions, and cabbage on top. The cuisine at altitude is top-notch. And what does a man who lives so high up do? First of all, farming. Of course, there are horses here, because they are actually local jeeps. But the horses have to be shoed. So the main place is behind these doors. This is my work office. And what do you make here? Axes, hoes, shoeing horses, for agriculture, anything that's forged. Blacksmithing has been an art since prehistoric times, which originated as making weapons for tribes. And then it became important for the creation of everyday objects. Carpathian blacksmiths were known for creating magical amulets. Blacksmiths often fulfilled the role of magicians or sorcerers. It was believed that they were able to endow their products with sacred power. That's the anvil, the forge. Let's start the fire. The technology is quite simple. Iron is heated in a furnace, and while it is hot, it is shaped. When it's cooled, it's heated again, and so on. When the piece is ready, it's hardened, alternating between heating and cooling to strengthen it. Like this? Yes. Lay it on the edge like this. Level it out. Yeah? Seems good, right? Yes. How many blacksmiths here in Verkhovina? Maybe 10 people in the whole Verkhovina district. The results of our work. The results of your work. And I messed them up a bit with a hammer. It's okay. Hatchet? Yes. You hardened it today, right? The chisel is fully made today. It's a good luck charm. You can hang it somewhere. Thank you. When you get an order from one of your neighbors, how much for a hatchet like this? 400 hryvnias. How much for the chisel? About 200. 200? And the horseshoe? A horseshoe? 4 horseshoes is 500 hryvnias. It's fine for the locals. But for tourists you need to raise the price. I'm buying this. So if you pass by, there is a good opportunity to make a souvenir using ancient technology. And if you don't find a house, don't worry. Mr. Mykola will find you anyway. I think that binoculars are such an unspoken hutsel tradition. You need to know what's going on around you, right? Yes. I got a call early that Komarov's on his way here. Komarov is here. Good thing he did. So, friends, if you come to Hatsolshina, know that you are always being watched. Eyes open, eyes open. And even if you think there's no one around, don't worry. The Hatsols control everything. That's where Mykola sleeps, that's where his wife sleeps, and that's where his mistress sleeps. No, I think it's a joke, because you can't come here with a mistress, everyone will see. Friends, British intelligence, American intelligence. No, the first one is Hatsol intelligence. Now the whole world is saying that Ukrainians are very strong people. Ukraine is very strong. What is the strength of Ukraine? The strength is in the unity of our people, because our Ukrainian people are very consolidated. What's the best thing about living on high? The view, the clear water. It is impossible to disagree with Mr. Mykola. The Carpathians are really like a natural power bank that gives you energy and is ready to share it with everyone who needs it. Are you tourists? Good afternoon. From Kharkiv. Hi Kharkiv, Dmytro. And this is Mr. Mykola. How long have you been here from Kharkiv? We've been here 5 days. Well, we survived a missile strike. Our windows were blown out. The Iskander hit 50 meters from our house.
I was just sleeping.
My son was tossed up on his bed, but we made renovation in a month and moved on. What do you do? I run my own company selling car parts. Here's a question for you, Kharkiv resident. What is the strength of Ukraine and the Ukrainians? In the spirit, Ukrainian spirit. We have very strong people.
I even got a badge from a military man.
Do you want me to give you a badge too?
Yes.
Look, the world inside out. It's a medal for you. Awesome. I'm gonna put here so everyone can see it.
Thank you.
Danya, how's life in Kharkiv?
Explosions are very scary to me.
Scary explosions, right? It will all be over soon.
Yes.
The war will end, peace will come, you'll have trips with mom, with dad, and only good things. We bid farewell to Mr. Mykola, learning that his source of strength is in the business he loves, to which he has dedicated his life, and in the nature that surrounds him. However, not only locals can enjoy life at such altitude. There is a new vacation trend for tourists which combines the desire to be at height and the comfort. We are carrying on with our expedition through the Carpathians now. It seems that we are somewhere on the edge of geography. In the forest, steep climb, off-road, you don't expect to see civilization there, but you'd be surprised. We leave the forest and see a huge number of these glass facades. These are so-called insta-houses. When you see photos from such a place on socials, it seems like that it is not in Ukraine. The main gimmick of Instagram houses is that there is bound to be a panoramic window. Floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook an incredible landscape. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can I come in?
Sure. It's not cleaned. Is that okay?
It's not a big deal. That's it, friends. Let's see what Insta Houses is all about. Okay, what's your name?
Diana.
Diana, my pleasure.
Maria.
Maria, my pleasure. I'm Dmytro.
We know you, Dmytro.
It's a pleasure. We are now studying the Carpathian heights and the people who live at heights. And we were advised to look at such a new fashionable style Insta Houses. They said that the main thing is a window with a great view.
Yeah, 100%.
This is a new kind of tourism, when you seem to be in nature due to large windows and at the same time in comfortable conditions. You know, they always say that height is power. In the Himalayas, they say the gods live on top of the mountains. The Molfars are always at the top. So what heights means to you?
It's very peaceful here. Have you noticed?
No sounds. And this silence is relaxing. By the way, a lot of military personnel are coming here now. They come, rent cabins, rest, and reboot. Thank you for letting us into your home. Have a good rest, and we're moving on with our expedition. Apart from insta-houses, there are many other ways to emotionally unload in the Carpathians, and right in the backyards of the locals. In order to see one of these places, I decided to visit Andriy, who we already know, and with whom we used to collect fly garlic. Try it, it's deliciously sweet. I couldn't resist. I decided to check out your trout farm. It's a pleasure. Not a few fish in here, I see. This is my childhood dream because I am a fisherman. I did it for myself, for family and for my soul. Trout, or as the Hutzels call it, pstruh, belongs to the salmon family and is a real Carpathian delicacy. Usually such fish is found in clean mountain rivers, but to catch it in the wild is a real luck. So the locals have figured out how to grow trout right at home, for themselves and for tourists. Water goes in and out of this lake and you just add oxygen and that's it, right? Yeah, we're gonna feed them now. Is it fodder? Yes, a special one. The water is boiling. Got something? Come on, get it out. Pull it out. These are rainbow trout. And we'll cook it now. You'll taste it. How about we'll let you go cook one? No, we're not letting her go because it has no protective cover. You see, it has no scales. It's very tender. So you catch it, you eat it, right? Yes. Usually, guests here are given a fishing rod in their hands so that everyone can catch as many trout as they want. And while the fish is cooking, Andriy surprises us with some more very unusual inhabitants of this farm. Hutzol capybaras. Capybaras? Hutzol capybaras. They live in the water, right? Yeah, right. Along with the trout? No, they live with other fish, not trout. Along with carp and crushing carp. If this is not a joke, please show me. Let's go, let's go. Capybaras are the largest rodents in the world. They live in South America, so you would not expect to meet such exotics in Ukraine, in a Hutzol's yard. Some kind of miracle. Capybaras in the Carpathians. Look, look, look! There it is. Cool. Are they tame? No way. They eat. They feed directly from your hands. What do they like to eat? Cabbage, bread, corn. So it's not a capybara. It's a nutria. Nutria, you just said Hutzol capybara. Hutzol capybara. Oh, it's some joke, right? Everyone here calls them capybaras. Such a huge mouse. A hand mouse. Nutria are actually distant relatives of capybaras. They're also rodents. They also live in water and eat plant food. And they are very similar to capybaras, although a little smaller. Remember, friends, when we were in Bolivia filming the capybaras just walking the streets of the city. The size, friends, is very impressive. Look at this rat. Up to 1.5 meters long, up to 70 centimeters tall. Nutria is a different animal, of course, but very, very similar. At that moment, you forget everything. You think only about this moment of happiness, when such a cute creature eats from your hands. I think you understand me perfectly well, Mr. Andriy. You have spent a year at war. Right now there are battles for Donbass, in the Zaporizhzhia direction, in the eastern direction. At this time, there is such a paradise place where children cannot be afraid of war and enjoy themselves, live a full life, communicating with animals, with nature. It is important that there are such safe oases of peace. Yes, this is really the place, just the way God gave it at the moment, to get away from the war, from the difficult situation, to forget and rest your head, rest your brain, and then go back to work. To support the country, to build, to rebuild, to hold on, and not to sit, not to wait for anything. Meanwhile, Marina, Andriy's wife, had already cooked trout according to an old family recipe. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever eaten trout like this. I've never tasted trout like this before. Friends, come here, you won't regret it. Emotions and taste are guaranteed. Rest, regain your strength. What about you, a man who recently returned from the war, but now you're in this paradise? I'll tell you this, after the war, you start to live a completely different life. Values are completely different. You start to live, love, appreciate, support your family, people, Ukraine. There is hell there. I wish no one could go there, and that there would be no war, not only in Ukraine, but in the whole world. Wherever we are on our expeditions, all Ukrainians have the same dream, that the war will end. With these thoughts, we drive on in search of the highest dwelling. But on the way I meet a very picturesque car. I don't know yet that the owner of this minivan will make us change all our plans. It's so cool. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please stop where you can. Let's take a look at this model. Holy crap, a museum on wheels, that's right. Good afternoon, sir. What is this? We have never seen such a thing in Ukraine. A unique car decorated with dolls, Hutzel rarities, and it seems everything that came to hand. And flashlights, and blowtorches, and LED strips. Can I see it? Yeah, take a seat. Wow! Hindus are shamed. There are decorations, ornaments, jewels, crosses, Vanish mask. Actually, the style is really Asian. India, Pakistan, they like to decorate their buses, cars, motorcycles. Friends, my first impression is just some kind of shock. Look at this ceiling, LEDs with decorations. There's fish, there's birds, there's hearts. Look, it's all handmade, cut out of film. The owner of this miracle on wheels is Mr. Mikhailo, and I must say, he has surpassed even the Pakistani craftsmen. It's really Hutzel style here. Now I see why the museum. What kind of doll? Hutzel. Our Hutzel princess. She is bride. In a wedding dress. What's this box? Fundraising? Fundraising. Is this on our armed forces? Yes, I'm giving it away later. So you can donate here. It's called Bashuk in Hutzel. It's 70 years old. Is it a museum piece? Yes. I see you have a gun and a rifle. My grandson gave it to me. He says it's in case someone attacks. It shoots bullets. I've heard that a Hutzel without a gun is not a Hutzel. So every Hutzel have a weapon, right? Almost everyone. You know, antique weapons. There's a lot of elderly people here. It's like a tradition, right? Yeah, tradition. It may not shoot, but it's there. I've met this kind of people. Old man high up in the mountains pulls out a gun, or an elder woman in the kitchen pulls out a gun and says, "Yo, I'm a Hutzel, I must have a gun." So the Hutzels are armed, right? Yes. But still the traditional weapon of Hutzel man is the batka, a small axe with a long handle. It was used not only for fighting or cutting firewood, but also served as a staff for climbing mountains. It's from the late Nechai. He made it for me. Oh really? Did he do this for you? Yes. Batka. Yes. Carpathian hatchet. There's a picture of him. Friends, you probably remember in the program Travel Ukraine we did an episode about Carpathian magic and told in detail about Nechai, the most famous Ukrainian Molfar of all time. He treated people until his last day, but unfortunately, he was killed. Mikhailo Nechai is considered one of the most powerful Ukrainian Molfars and magicians. There are evidences that he was endowed with extraordinary powers. He could summon rain or sunshine and disperse clouds. Imagine, during the festival Chervona Ruta in 1989, the Soviet government did not call fighter jets to disperse the clouds, but officially invited a Molfar to disperse them. And he did, and kept the weather nice all the days. It is said that the famous magician could cure incurable diseases, communicate with the souls of ancestors, and predict the future. And he gave you this, yes? Yes, he made it with his own hands, personally. No way. You realize as long as I go with it, I'm always lucky. And Nechai Mikhailo Mikhailovich is my father. Wait, what? That's my father. Mikhailo Mikhailovich Nechai is my father, from first wife. I don't get it, I'm sorry. You'd expect anything in this wonder vehicle, but to hear this was unexpected. How are you related to him in any way? He set my mom up, conceived a child and promised marriage, but he didn't, and my mom stayed with me. Are you Nechai's son? Yes. Are you Nechai's own son? Yes. After Mikhailo Nechai's death, many people appeared who began to pretend to be his relatives and followers. After all, there is a belief that the Molfar's power is passed on by inheritance. As far as I know, Nechai had only 2 sons. I even know his grandson, Ivan, personally. I don't think Mr. Mikhailo wants to deceive me, but it wouldn't hurt to check. So I decide to dial Nechai's grandson to find out if it is really true. Let's make a call. Let's see if you're telling the truth. Do it. Next time on The World Inside Out. Get ready, there's going to be a jump. Columns start moving. Keep it steady. The expedition goes on to find the source of the Ukrainian Highlanders' strength. Winter Carpathian Mountains is like some kind of fairy tale. We will return to the mountains in the winter to see if the highest dwelling really is lived in year-round. The dead flies indicate that no one has cleaned this place in a long time. We'll go into corners where tourists don't go. There's a trail here, only woodsmen and wolves run. The snow is so loose. Hard to go. We'll find out about more secrets that Ukrainian undersky dwellers are hiding.
I'm here.
Granny knows how to call the shots.
Don't think this is easy for me.
We'll unravel the secrets of magic of the strongest Ukrainian Molfa. He used the Aspen cross. He chased away clouds and hail. And we'll see if Mr. Mikhailo is really a descendant of the famous seer. Hello? Don't miss out. Do you think we have a chance of making it? Not today. I have only a small camera left. 1 battery. Hey! Help! The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine.